Hardworking every day, not a lazy mom, got no time to play. Always on the go, you stuck on the flow, but it's time for the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode of our Not for Lazy Moms podcast. What's going on, Allie?
It has been a week, so I am excited to escape my family and hang out with you guys.
I know that's right. Look, Chris can't escape me. He got to live with me every day and work with me. And I told him, you got to show up with a smile on your face and people think you unhappy. But I'm so excited about our discussion today because it's reminiscent for us. Becoming a new mom is like a whirlwind. How do I put this baby down? Why do I feel like I'm a stalker watching my baby sleep? I can't stop looking at this precious creation. You know, the motherhood obsession is very real. And honestly, it's the best kind of obsession to have. But we have a special guest today. So I'm really excited. I'm going to pop her on the screen right now. What's going on, Hazel E?
What's poppin', Monique?
What's going on? Listen, today, guys, we have Erica Tiffany Adams, who we all know as Hazel E. She is a publicist, a brand consultant, an entrepreneur, a rapper. She's originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, and she rose to worldwide fame by participating as a regular on VH1's hit series Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. But today, we are going to be talking about her new baby because in June of this year, she gave birth to her beautiful daughter, her and her husband, Davon, and they gave birth to their beautiful baby girl, Ava Dior. And you are like completely obsessed with her. I know that has to be the case.
Oh my God, like obsessed. I don't even know if that's the word. And that's a big word.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
It's like, it's OD. It's like overdose on Ava Dior. Like she's.
I love it. I love it. And just tell me, like, what has motherhood done to you? How has it changed you? Do you feel different? Like, what is your emotions like these days?
Motherhood has completely changed me. Like my outlook on life, I feel like is different because like now I have someone to live for and someone to think about. Like before I make decisions, like, is this going to be good for Ava? Is Ava going to be up at this time? Is she going to be like, my world is like surrounded by just our love for her. And it's also calmed me down. It's made me like, you know, work on self-image and just being like a good role model and a great woman for her to look up to. Like, I want her to be able to be proud of her mom. And I don't want to like, you know, do things that would, you know, make her feel some type of way later on. Like, yes. I want her to just be proud of me, period.
Oh my God. No, I love that. And, you know, I've been through some things recently that put me in a position where I had to sit down with my kids. And I swear, sitting down with my kids and having to have those uncomfortable talks about what I'm doing that I need to work on is worse than like talking to my parents about it. So
really?
It definitely does make you just kind of like second guess and just say, all right, let me make sure that this is something that my child can look at, but also being real and just saying, hey, I'm still human. And I might,
your daughter is going to know, like if a bitch is talking slick at the lip, she might get popped. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, you know, it's like, you have to be able to defend yourself. I'm going to definitely teach Ava how to defend herself and not to take mess from anybody, you know, and just to own who you are, and that's it. And don't let nobody make you feel bad about it. And we can grow. I've personally had to drag a couple of people on TV, and I'm definitely not proud of it, but I definitely showed that, you know, I'm not going to just stand for anything, and I'm going to be able to defend myself if need be. And that's that. And we're going to move on. We're going to build a bridge and we're going to get across it.
Yes, it's all about how you move forward. That's what I say. It's always about the journey. So what's interesting to me is that you actually had to go through your pregnancy and even giving birth during the pandemic, during COVID. Like, how has that been? And how, like, because I know I've never experienced that. So I'm just really curious to know, what was it like with doctor visits and then being in a labor room and not having visitors?
They cut like a lot of my doctor visits off just because they didn't want like the risk of, you know, contracting infections, because the doctors are on the front line. They're the ones facing coming face to face with this disease every day. So we got a lot of doctor's appointments cut. It was so much anxiety because you just didn't want to make the wrong step. Like if I get COVID, then my baby's going to get COVID. Like it's anxiety. They cut, Davon was not allowed to he got to come to one ultrasound before COVID happened, which was the one to find out our gender. He never got to go to another ultrasound after 22 weeks. So we had to FaceTime when I was in the ultrasound. I might have to FaceTime him on the camera so he could see the ultrasounds. We were fortunate that he was the first round of dads that were allowed back into delivery. Ava, she held out to 39 weeks, thank God, full term baby. And she held out, and that allowed him to come into the delivery room process. So that was like a blessing because I couldn't imagine doing that like without him. Like I was already over going into the doctor's appointments and him having to wait in the car, him having to wait in lobby because you come through, you got to get a temperature check. You got to fill out forms. Have you been here? Have you been in contact? All those things, masks, gloves, then only you are allowed up in there at the time. So it was just like, you lost a little bit of your like support system. And this is like both of our first kids. So it was kind of like, it's definitely nerve wracking. But
yeah, what's crazy is, as the man, that had to be hard because, I was with Monique just about on every checkup, every step of the way. And you want to be a part of that process. So I definitely, my heart goes out to him because he couldn't be there through every step to support you. And also, too, experience it for himself. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, and he was so great because he was a dad that wanted to come to every single appointment. And like I said, whether he waited in the car or the lobby, he was there and he was, and we did the best we could. And at the end of the day, we delivered a healthy baby girl, COVID-free. She was like 10s across the boards. And we're still kind of not necessarily like isolating, but we're still really in a social distance world because she's already had to have a COVID test. Like,
wow.
Because a lot of these babies are being born with COVID or they're going to the pediatricians. And once one has COVID, we've already changed pediatricians twice because of 2 COVID outbreaks in the medical center here in Houston. Yeah. And so they unfortunately have to get the nose test too. We had to get it to even deliver. It was.
So I tell you what, COVID has been a blessing to a whole bunch of deadbeat dads then.
Oh my God.
God sent, right?
They use an excuse about the pandemic.
They weren't coming anyway, but they got an excuse.
Yeah, right. Because they had said.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Allie. I know you had something to say.
Well, I was kind of going back to, outside of COVID, which, by the way, you look beautiful. Congratulations. Like to have your first, I remember with my first, my husband was like, yes, I'm coming to every appointment. And then the second he's like, all right, yeah, FaceTime me. Like no COVID. It was just like, I got it. Like they all look weird in the ultrasound. Like it's kind of like, but I wanted to know, you're 5 months in, right? With your first child. So amazing. Is there something that and I'm sure there are a lot of things, but is there one thing that really has surprised you about motherhood? Something that you were like, wow, I didn't know this part of it would be this hard. Something, along those lines?
Surprised me. God, it surprised me when people said that you'll miss being pregnant and that you'll automatically want another one. And when you're pregnant and you're like, yeah, right. Never. I'm never going to miss this. And then you start to find yourself looking at baby bump photos and remembering the bonding time and like, okay, I think I want another one. What? Like that surprised me because being pregnant, especially towards the end, it gets kind of miserable. It's not sharing your body like it's a whole different experience, but the simple fact that I've had moments to where I've missed it and really like, okay, so maybe like in a year or two, we'll try it again. We'll see if we get Ava a sibling. It's shocking to me just because I didn't think that I would just be in love with it so much that I'd want to keep running it back to back like that.
Oh, I love that. How did you come up with her name?
Okay, Ava's name. So we did a gender reveal and we had these cute little name cards that said Erica, because my name is Arica, and then Davon on the table. And we were trying to pick names. We wanted her name to be Ashton because I wanted a gender neutral name. Yeah. But then as she was, I just didn't feel like she was Ashton no more. I just felt like she was she's gonna be a princess. Like I just felt she's gonna be that girl. So we used to play in coronaviruses word puzzle games. Like when you get all the letters and you make words out of them.
Yeah.
So we put our names together and made a name out of our names, which is Ava Dior.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah. So put them together, and that's how we came up with her name.
Awesome. So I want to know about labor and delivery. Even with the whole like COVID situation, did you have a birth plan when you went into labor and delivery or preparing for it? And did everything go according to the plan you had, if you did?
We really didn't have a birth plan. We just wanted to be able to go and we weren't even allowed to do a walkthrough of the hospital. Like when I say that every portion, so we're like, so we don't get a dry run, like let's pull up and no, you got to just willy-nilly out here because it's COVID.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting you. So we didn't get to do none of that. So we're freaking out. Like, what if this happens? So she held on a little bit longer. So our doctor decided to induce labor because I'm older, they say over 35. So they decided to induce. So when we went to induce, we were in labor for like 6.5 hours and our heartbeat dropped. And then they were just like, we got to do a C-section. And next thing you know, we were in there. I was taking the contractions. I didn't have no epidural. I was like, woo!
Body.
And then that happened and I had to get it. And, it was just it was a moment because like I said, Davon got to come in, they put him in the whole little thing and he was just holding my hand behind the curtain. And I definitely didn't expect birth to be like that. Like I wanted a natural birth, but it just didn't work out in the cards. So they had to go and get her. And she just came out like, why are you getting me? Like, I'm good. Like, I wasn't ready yet. It's coronavirus out there. She
said it's all warm and cozy in here. I don't want to come out.
I was girlfriend. And so, and that was like a bonding. He always says like, I give it up to you from here. Like, cause he was one of those people, the C-section, there's a curtain. I was sitting there like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, like tripping, right? He gonna stand up, look over the curtain, see the gallbladder, see things that he shouldn't have seen.
Stop. No.
He did that. And they were like, you gotta sit down. And he was just like, I'll never put you through nothing again. You took this. Like, it was a definitely experience. Like, we wanted Ava and we got her. So.
Oh, man. Well, listen, having a baby is definitely something that any spouse you'll definitely earn the respect because it's no joke what your body goes through.
I see over there, Chris. He looked like.
I looked at my phone, but no, I'm in my head just thinking about either way is going to be crazy, whether you get the C-section or you see a natural birth. Because I looked down there and I was like, wow, I ain't doing nothing in the bedroom.
No, I was getting that thing. I was getting that.
It's like a transformer. It can like. And then it goes back. I'm just like, come on, man. That's amazing.
They think they be laying pipe. You ain't doing nothing.
Work with.
Oh,
my bad, baby. Am I going too far?
No, you always
okay, good.
go
I gotta
too far.
be
That's just true. He has no filter. You get him talking about sex, he ain't gonna turn back.
What sign is he?
He a Leo.
I got
a complete fool. That's my sign.
He's the best. So do you think, or how has your relationship with your husband changed since becoming new parents? 5 months in, do you feel like y'all are both just like all over Ava together, or does he ever have to tell you like come on, like give me some attention, what's going on?
Oh, definitely. But we just went on a 4-day vacation in Tulum in Mexico just to get that rekindle moment, because he'd be like, you just want to cuddle with Ava at night, or it's Ava this, or she sleeps in our bed. We can't get her to one of her 10 cribs that she has. She just wants to sleep in between us. And I know it's like bad, but it's just, like she's our little baby. Like it's just what we want to do. And, but we are all over her together. Like he helps out if he's making the bottle or, sterilizing toys, or he does her laundry fantastic. He has the best roll up. Swaddle game was crazy.
Yeah.
His swaddle game was next level, swaddling with D. And yeah, look, he said period. And so yeah, like we're just protective over her, and probably because it's coronavirus and we've, you know, you got to stay in the house and all that stuff. It's honestly been kind of a blessing because we don't have that temptation to rip and run and do this and that. Like we're in the house, we just got karaoke, a little basketball court, a swimming pool. Like this is how we're doing it, and we're gonna be proactive with raising our daughter. But I'm gonna remember to get it popping. You know, I might be pregnant with my second one because of Mexico. No, I'm just kidding.
You got to make sure you hold that man down. You know that.
Yeah, it's something that I definitely learned not to let our husbands get lost in the sauce, and that's, you know, they have to work with us too. Because listen, it ain't all just ready to go. Like right when you're ready to go, okay? Like
yes,
give me a moment, but I'm.
You said something that, you know, you guys just went away, just the two of you, right?
Yes.
First off, I want to know how that was for you, leaving your daughter for the first time. But also, I feel like that's so important for couples to hear, because I know with my husband, we were debating, like, should we go on a baby moon? And my husband was like, you know what, if we're to go on a trip before the baby or after the baby, I'd rather wait till after, when you can drink, when you can have a little fun, when you can kind of feel like, you know, even if it's a newer version of yourself, we can get away and kind of rekindle, like you said. I think that time with your partner is so important after you have a baby. But what was that like leaving her?
God, it was. I've done it for 2 days because I had to go film in LA for another show, and I had to go over a weekend. So I did the 2 day, but a 4 day, losing it. I cried, you know, like I felt like, are we being selfish? Like, is it we knew what we were getting into? Like we went through those emotions, but like, and he missed her too. Like after the 2 days, it was like, you know, it was there, but we honestly had the trip booked for our birthdays in April, but because of COVID, everything got shut down. So this was the makeup, and I'm exactly what you said. So glad we did it after the baby because I could have cocktails. We went to like a cenote tour, and I jumped in fresh lakes off of huge cliffs. Like I got to feel like balls to the walls haze again, like something invigorating that made me feel like my old self again. So it was very refreshing. And then we came back just in more love and more, you know, we've only been married a year. So most of our marriage, I was pregnant, and just showering Ava with all that love and just super attentive. We have that energy. It doesn't feel draining. It just, we're like, we got that recharge that we probably needed. And it's been an awesome week for us so far.
That's good. And y'all probably got some good sleep.
We did. That was my one rule. I said, listen, I'll do what I'm supposed to be here to do for the little part of work. But the first rule is I'm sleeping in. I want to sleep in till I can't sleep no more. Like I want to sleep. I don't want to wake up to hear anything, to feel a kick in my back. Just sleep and let me live. Like
yes. Oh my God. That's probably the one thing that I do miss, because it seems like once you become a parent, sleep is just not the same ever again. Because even when they're, you know, you have somebody watching them and you're trying to get some rest, you wake up wondering like, what's going on? Are they okay? Like, you know, so I remember when I had my first son, my mom had to pull me to the side, and she was just like, Monique, you need to like, just like let the baby sleep. She's like, when the baby sleep, you're still like looking at the baby, like go tend to your husband. And I was just like, I was so just like overly obsessed and just like looking at all his features, and every day he changed.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, he has my eyes today. And then the next day he has Chris's face. Like he went back and forth so much, and I just wanted to catch it all. So to the moms out there that are listening who are going through this right now, it is so normal. We all do it. And it does take some like effort on our part to kind of pull us up out of that. So I think sometimes moms think that isn't like normal. And it really is. We all go through it. And you know, that year goes by so fast. They change so much, and you just want to capture it all.
You do. Like it's that mom obsession. I really do that. Last night I was watching Ava sleep. Like, look at her lashes. They look a little bit fuller in her line, or look at her lip shape. It's like, and he come in the room like, so you just sitting in the bed looking at her sleep. Like, you got it. Like,
It's so true. Oh my gosh. So who actually watches Ava? Being that you have the platform that you have, how hard is it to find somebody that you can trust? I mean, your baby, that's your most prized possession. How hard is it to find someone you can trust? Who do you have that watches her? And what's that comfort level like?
I'm blessed. So I pulled a move where we just got a new home in my mom's neighborhood.
Yes.
We're on the estate gated side, and she's on the other estate side, and it's literally probably like 2.5 minutes away. Because we were in high rise and stuff in downtown, and she's like, "It's time to get a house, and you need to slow it down. You need to be a mom, and that fast life, and taking Ava up and down, elevate." I was getting read down. She was reading me down like that. So we got a home over here in Houston, and yeah, so grandma's around the corner.
Oh my gosh.
I definitely needed it for this first year because I have siblings that still live at home. I'm the oldest, so I have younger siblings. And so Ava can go to her grandma, grandpa, and her TTs and, her uncles. And I don't have to worry about it.
Well, let me ask you a question on that. So did you basically give all of the directions on how you want the baby raised, or do you let grandma just pretty much handle it and kind of do her style?
I'll be reading grandma. When we were in Mexico, she put Ava's hair in a ponytail. And I said, listen, we don't put ponytail holders on her hair yet because we need it to get fuller. I don't need you snatching it out. Or she's like, oh, but I cut it. Take it out. Period. Like I'm not just
right.
what you think she look cute in. It's not. I need her to have some more hair before you do that. So, and I give her because she comes over, she helps me decorate. She helps me, put the stuff we're like a real mom and daughter duo. And she gets Ava's routine, and when she tries to interject and change it, I'll be like, that's cute, but that's not what she's doing. She's not doing that. And I go to her pediatrician, and the pediatricians always tell us about grandma and grandma theories and put a little K-Rose syrup in the bottle.
Right.
With the cosplay, they always got their little, and they be like, no, get some Milacon and put it in. And that's, and get it done. And so, we got our little things back and forth, but Ava's surrounded by her family, and it's all love.
Okay, that was a setup question. So how is it between you and the husband dealing with the baby? Do you kind of just tell him what to do, or he's like, I got it, I'm doing it my way, the baby will be fine? If you're scared to speak on it, I don't want to cause no rift out of the house, man. We
they won't listen. He comes to all the doctor's appointments, so he hears and sees what's going on and what she needs to do. And he gets it. He gets information too. Everybody's on the same betterment path for Ava. The only difference I think is I'm really, really OCD. So when I have Ava, her, when we change her diaper, everything's put back in place. Her bottles go straight to and that. When Daddy has Ava, I come back like, oh, okay. So this what y'all got going on.
That's me all day. That's me all day.
She happy and she good, right? It's like, okay, you got it.
That was a struggle for me and Chris for a while because I am very particular. I like to call it. He calls me crazy. I call it particular. So I had to get to the point, and Allie, you actually said this before, daddies do it differently.
Yes.
That changed my life because even with my kids being older, I have to remind myself sometimes that, okay, they're still going to be alive if daddy does it his way. But yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle at times for me to just but I like my babies to be shiny. I like them to be lubed up with shea butter. I don't want to see no ashy lips. I don't want to see no ash at all. I want them to be lubed up, put the coconut oil where it needs to go. And, I don't play about stuff like that. My baby, one thing you ain't ever going to say about my babies is that they look dry.
Not ashy.
When you do it like that, though, to let the men do it their way, the babies learn how to adapt to different situations, So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they also kind of learn when their wives or partners are right. Like, you know, I was like, you know what, daddies do it differently. You do your thing. And so, you know, my husband would skip his nap and instead they'd watch football and then the baby would be a terror. And I'm like, well, you know, that's why I have
it's real.
Yes.
Or if you don't want to stick that Milacon drop in every bottle, you're going to deal with constipated Ava, and she is not nothing to play with. Okay,
Right.
So you know, do it. And then does it? Okay, you know, I'm a new mom, so I'm gonna ask you guys. So do you guys feel that the baby knows when, like, I feel like she's more appreciative of me a little bit now, like, whew, I'm back with mommy. At least
They do that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes. No, because you can tell. I definitely, I'm a firm believer that babies pick up energies.
Okay.
And there have been times where I would come home and I could literally feel my son just having a yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes, they definitely can pick up on mommy's energy. You know, nobody does it better than mommy. They've been in your womb for all of that time, and then they come out and they're so connected with you more than anybody, I believe. And then the daddies have to like kind of like do their skin time and just develop that bond as well. But that connection is definitely real. I mean,
I know, honestly, like, you should soak it all up in the beginning, because when they get older and they're like, oh, dad's actually really cool, then they kind of leave you behind. So that's great.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's like I want to take the babies when they were really young and do stuff with them just to give Monique a break. And the baby's just cutting up. The baby wants the mom. I'm like, look, Monique, nothing I can do with this. You got to take the baby. The baby wants you. So then I'll do my little wink thing and run out and do what I got to do and get away.
Right. They always get
I always got a store run to go to. It's always
That's
a
right,
store
that's
run.
They always get the little breaks. I don't know how they be taking all these breaks. I'm like, how they just be laying down on the couch and taking naps? We still take naps? Like, okay.
We're smart. And when you get time to have a break, take the break. Monique will start working on other stuff. So it's like, all right, I got a nap time in because the baby's sleeping, you know? So that ain't my.
No, I'm thinking about when she's sleeping, about all the other things I can't do when she's awake. So I'm trying to knock it all out. I'm trying to do every single little task just so I can. And then, we're more tired because we don't even sleep through the naps.
But see, that's unfair to the husband, though, because now he's getting neglected.
Well, maybe the husbands should help out with some of those things on that checklist.
Nobody can do it like mommy.
See? It's like a revolving circle of confusion and sleep. But no, I wanted to know, how has balancing life been? But I mean, you're an entrepreneur, you're a working woman. Now you're a mom, you're also a wife. Have you reached any points where you're like, oh my God, this is a lot to balance. Like, this is a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I like the timing of when I had Ava was just like crazy, because another show that I was on, Marriage Boot Camp, that me and Davon did, came out 2 weeks after we had Ava. So I didn't even get to take a break, because 2 weeks after birth, I'm sitting there stitched up, getting hair and makeup done in my kitchen, having to do a People magazine interview or whatever, because you're obligated to promote, you know, your shows, your jobs that you're on. And I'm just like, damn, I didn't even get like a maternity leave. Like, I would feel bad. Like, that's time I'm taking away from bonding with my newborn baby. You know, you get the mom guilt whole, like, you know, feeling. And it was just like, balancing it is going to be an act. But, you know, I feel like it's just, you know, I wanted it. I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm fortunate enough to be in a position to have a job that I can work from home, you know, and that, you know, part of my work is with Ava. You know, we do campaigns together. They've been loving baby Ava since before she came out the womb. So I'm in a blessed situation, because I didn't want to have to put her in daycare or, you know, the whole nanny thing yet. Like, I just want to be with my daughter all the time. And so it's been like super blessed. And then we work around it. If I have to go and I have to go work, I just have to suck it up and do it. But it's not very often. So.
Yes. It's amazing to realize the strength that you have that you may not even realize you once had. Once you start having kids and you're able to juggle all of these different things, then you kind of sit back some days and be like, man, how am I doing all of this? Like, this is so much. And what was I doing with my time before I had the baby? I swear, it's like kids are almost like it's like they are a timestamp. You can look back at any time period, and based on their life, like, you can probably think about right now what you were doing when Ava was 1 month old.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like you really document your life in a way that not having kids, you'll be like, oh my God, what did I do last week or last year? I can't remember what I was doing 10 years ago before I had kids. Mm-hmm. But every year that I've had my son, I can literally tell you exactly where I was at a certain given time because of him just kind of like documenting those moments. And it's a beautiful thing. And
you just become selfless. Like, you don't care about your nails anymore. You don't care about your hair. I still haven't even lost all my baby weight. And I usually would be like tripping like over body conscious stuff. But Ava loves holding on to my extra new little curves and stuff. I'm just like, I feel like real mama bear with my extra little weight on. And I'm like, like, damn, I know I need to snap back and all that. But like, I feel real mommy-ish right now. You know what I'm saying? But got a little hip now. Like, like I had before, and it's like, you really just become like, that's the changes, become selfless individuals. And you just really want to do your best and be the best version of yourself for this little human being that is depending on you.
Yeah.
It's making me a better person for sure. Right.
It's funny that you say that because I always had a fear of death, of dying. Mm-hmm. And, because I know I wasn't living right, so I didn't know where I was going, but once I had my babies, it's just like, if somebody came in and was like, somebody got to die, which one is going to take the bullet for these kids without a question? So it's totally different for me now, just being protective of them and, making sure that they're okay and taking care of them. So definitely made me kind of get over that whole fear. I
even have a whole new anxiousness of, am I preparing for the future, right? Am I saving enough for Ava's private school? Am I like, now you have like a whole different kind of stress. I'm sitting there like, oh, did I get the Charles Schwab account done? Did I get her trust fund? Like, am I doing like you start not even worrying about the new Gucci bag that just came out or you know what I'm saying? Or the new Balenciaga, whatever. Like I'm sitting over here like, oh, I got to get the pony cycle for Christmas. I got to get the birthday car routine. Like it's a whole different thing now.
I want to go back to something you said real quick about how she loves your curves and everything. I think that's important for new moms, especially to hear to, the ones who want to lose that baby weight immediately and they're hard on themselves because they're not, for every new mom, like cut yourself some slack. Like you birthed a human, like you grew a human. That is incredible. That is beautiful. Don't put pressure on yourself to, immediately lose that baby weight.
And honestly, social media has really been helping me understand that concept. They've been really supportive of me, like posting pictures where I still have like, a little baby gut or I still have weight, and like moms are on there like cheering me on, like we're glad you didn't go get on the surgery table yet. And, and you're like enjoying the process. And I'm like, wow, people have been really encouraging because, we can get down on ourselves. Y'all are both snatched, Ali and Monique. Y'all look, I see collarbones and everything. But I mean, they've actually been like really supportive of like my journey. And it's like, it's cool. Like, I'll get back, I'll get to it. And I want to be healthy for her. But like, I'm just doing it at my time. And
good for you.
I love that. I love that. Look, Hazel, we could talk to you all day long. This has been truly amazing. And I think the last part that you just said is literally words to live by for all the new moms out there. It's a process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. And I can tell that you are just so full of life. Not that you were before, but I can just see like you're just so glowing right now. It's like you got all of that new mom energy. I love it. I can't wait to see how many other babies you pop out. You and Devon.
We gotta come out to the co-making. You know what I'm saying? You can teach me a couple things eventually. I come check y'all out.
Yes, definitely.
And,
the fun part of the process is the practice that you'll have to do to get to the baby making. So look, all of that practice will make perfect, right?
He might get a junior. He might get a junior.
Yes. So I think that as far as tips and everything that any of the listeners out there, when it comes to being, a new mom and having that baby obsession, it's okay. It's natural. Enjoy it. But at the same time, just keep making sure that you're taking care of your husband and not losing yourself, most importantly. So all of the moms out there listening, thank you so much. Hazel, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Okay, yes. You can find me. I'm at Hazel E Baby on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just Hazel E Baby across the board. check me out on iTunes, whatever. And I did want to say one thing though. Shout out to the single moms, because I have friends who are single moms, and it's really a hats off to you, because I probably would go crazy without my partner, my spouse, doing this with me. So for all the women out there who are doing it by themselves, you're literally like true heroes, and hold it down. And I look up to you guys, because you guys are some real queens.
Oh my God. Yes. And that's our moment of silence. You just gave it to us.
That took
That was
like
great.
7 babies. You know what I'm saying? That's hard.
It's a lot of work having one. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine. So no, absolutely right. Well, thank y'all so much for listening. The Motherhood Obsession is real, and we own it. We love it. Make sure y'all visit notforlazymoms.com, and we will see y'all next week.